as much as it pains me to say this, because there are so many people out there just like you who work your butts off, give it everything you got, do 40, 50, 60 hours a week. I've been there. I've done that. I know it's hard work. I know it's tough work. I know it takes dedication. I know it takes a different mindset to be able to do it. But there are so many of you who deserve this. But I'm here to tell you, if you are 45 and under, and I can almost say 50, but if you're 45 and under, I can almost guarantee for you, there will be no retirement for you. So normally when you're working 9 to 5 for 20, 30, 40 years, which really there's no such thing as a job that lasts that long now. Now a long-term job, and this is just my opinion, a long-term job is 5 years. If you've been at a job 5 years, you've been there a long time. If you've been 10, oh my gosh, like you've worked there forever. That's how bad it is now when it comes to longevity on jobs, which goes back to what I always tell you, that jobs are not safe, jobs are not secure. They never have been there, but they were more like 20, 30 years ago, there was a good chance you could work a job for a long time. They didn't have to be forever type jobs. But today, pretty much everything is part-time. There's part-time hours, companies that are full-time trying to get you to part-time so they don't have to fund your benefits and whatnot. But there's going to be no retirement for you if you're 45 and under. It just won't be there. And so now you got to start thinking about, what am I going to do to protect myself? Because normally, when you're working 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire on 40% of your income, 40-40-40 club, I call it. The whole point of working all those years, putting in all those hours, is to get what? Retirement, right? So you work until you're 65. The average life expectancy is about 72. So let's just say 75. You work all those years, just say from 25 to 65, you work 40 years to try to enjoy the last 10 years of your life. No, thank you. Your boy don't want to live that way. I don't want to live that way. I don't know about you, but I don't have any problem saying I don't want to live like that. I want to enjoy my life. And I know that you guys want to enjoy your life. That's why you're on this channel. That's why you hit subscribe. That's why you smash the thumbs up. That's why you come back to watch more videos. I know there are channels out there that's way more popular than mine. I got it. And they can hit you with a bunch of fluff. They can talk fluff all day about nonsense. I've heard some of the channels. I'm not here to do that. I'm just giving you a realistic perspective or outlook for your life based on some things that I've been through. So again, when I come on here and I say, hey, do not buy a house with a paycheck, right? Why am I telling you that? Because I made the mistake of buying a house and my only source of income was a paycheck. And then it was after we owned the house that we realized we got to have a paycheck for 30 years. So that means we have to have a job for 30 years. No, thank you. We sold the house. We're buying a new one. We're building a new one right now. But it's not going to be under the same premise that we bought the other under, right? There's no paycheck. And it took us a couple years to develop the income, the cash flow, to be able to pay for it. ACL, asset times cash flow equals liability. In order to do that, it took us some time to be able to do that, but it's worked out. If you can be a little patient, your life's going to change watching this channel. It's going to change for the better or for the worse, but I promise you it's going to change. It's not going to stay the same. You're either going to have some information you can work with or some information you can use, but you don't use, right? So I can't force you guys to do whatever it is that, you need to be doing. I can only just tell you from my experience. So my advice, never buy a house if the only way you can pay for it is with a paycheck. That includes a car, that includes vacations, that includes everything that just takes money from you and doesn't give any money back. So, but I learned that the hard way. I learned that there's no such thing as a safe, secure job. When I got fired, I became homeless. I learned that. I learned that saving money in a bank account is good for the bank, bad for you. I learned that the hard way, right? Because I had a stash, I lost my job, and then I burned through that stash and I was broke. Most people don't have enough money in their savings account to even last a month, let alone months and months and months, right? If the average person's bills, let's just keep it low, is $2,000 a month, and people are telling you 6 months to a year, then that's $12,000 minimum saved in a bank account. Now, how many people do you know sitting on $12,000 cash? There's not many. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 70% of people in America don't have $5,000 in a savings account. So who's saving $12,000 to $24,000 a year? And that's low. Who's sitting on that cash? Nobody. A better thing, a better idea, and hit the thumbs up for hallelujah if you're feeling any of this. A better idea would be to take the money that's in the savings instead of waiting for something bad to happen so you could justify saving it. Why not take it while everything is okay, while you still have your job, you still have your primary source of income? Why not take the money and then use it to make more money? Okay, hunty? Use it to make more money. That way, when you do get fired, because you will, when you do get laid off, because you will, when you do lose your job somehow, some way, because you will. There's no such thing as you will never lose your job. Ain't happening. Right? Before all those bad things happen, the rainy days, the emergencies. By the way, don't manifest that. Don't call your account an emergency account, a rainy day account. Call your account an opportunity account. Change your perspective. Change your outlook. Change your vocabulary to change your outcome. I don't have an emergency account. You know why? I don't want emergencies. I have an opportunity account. You know why? Because I love opportunity. That's why I take you guys on my journey. Somebody commented the other day, and it was like listening to this guy's advice. They were talking about me, and this guy was like, I assume it was a guy. It was like, are you a millionaire, bro? You're giving people all this advice. Listen, I'm not a millionaire, but the goal is not to be a millionaire. The goal is to be financially free. Hello? Thumbs up. Hello? Smash it now if you understand what I'm talking about. The goal is to be financially free. Financial freedom, yes, we want to be millionaires, but there's no guarantee we'll get that now or get that in 10 years. We don't know. But the goal is to be financially free, meaning this. If you can use the ACL formula, and I wish they taught this in school, asset times cash flow equals liability. If you can use this formula, then the first thing you would do is get an asset. Let the asset grow and mature. How long, Sean? I do not know. It just depends on what you want to buy. Right? If you want to take a vacation from the asset might take you on vacation very quickly. It might take a year. If you want to buy a car, it might take 2 years. If you want to buy a house, maybe take 3 to 5 years for the asset to make enough money to buy a house. I don't know. Just depends on what you want to accomplish and what the asset is. So take the money out of your savings account. No, you do not have to use all of it. Just minimize it. If you have $5,000 in there, hey, you might take $1,000 and try 5 different things. To me, that's better than waiting on something bad to happen. That bad happening is just going to eat the money up anyway. I got a friend today, we're having that discussion, and he was like, man, and when I had the money, I should have made a move. And I said, bro, you can still make a move now, even though you've eaten all your money up and life has taken that away. He said, man, you're right about one thing, Sean. He said, one thing I learned is you can't save money. And I said, brother, I know. I learned the hard way. You can't. Life and time won't allow you, and family and friends won't allow you to, and bills and expenses won't allow you to just sit there and save money. But listen, let me tell you something really quick. One of the worst things you could do with money is save it. That's one of the worst things you could do with money. Why? Because money is a tool. What good is a tool that you do not use? It's useless, correct? Money is useful when it's used. Money's only good when you use it, right? But my advice is to use some of it. You don't have to use all of it, but use some of it to acquire an asset or build an asset or start a business, something. Let the asset grow. As the asset grows and it produces cash flow, then cash flow is what the C stands for in A times C equals L. Cash flow, then you use the cash flow from the asset to actually get the liability. Make sense? An example would be if I want a house, which we've done. This is how we bought our house. We grew our middleman business since 2020. We let it grow. It's made enough money to go buy a house. We bought a house. Took 4 years, but you can do it faster because I didn't know what I was doing. Now it's bought a house. That cash flow from the business buys the house. Now I don't need a job. My wife don't need a job. Why? Because the business pays for the house and not us, right? That's all I'm saying. If you guys want to learn how to start a business from your phone, a middleman business, then all you have to do is put middleman in the comments below or click the link in the video description below. And that's only if you want to learn how to make money using your phone and only if you're serious about it, right? Otherwise, don't waste your time. Don't waste mine. I got enough students. I only want people who are serious about it. But sit down before the beginning of the year, sit down and think about, what are my financial plans? How are we going to put ourselves in great positions? What assets do we own? How much liabilities do we have? How can we use Shon's advice, asset times cash flow equals liability, change our lives? I got to go. I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. I'll see you on the next video. Share the channel with at least one person who needs this information. And for those of you who want to start a business from your phone, I'll see you in the free live training. Peace.